Hi, welcome to Heat. My name's Paula, this is Cherie, and we have Julia. And today we're going to work out with weights. But don't panic, you don't have to race off and buy expensive gym equipment. Have a little look around what you have at home. Maybe a can of soup in each hand or baked beans. Or what we've decided to do is use our water bottles. They make great dumbbells. So fill up your water bottle and let's do it. You ready to go, girls? Fantastic. Well, let's begin in our set position. Take your legs about shoulder width apart and then just turn your feet out slightly. Your dumbbells or your water bottles are down by your sides, and I just want you to give me a big shoulder roll up and back as we loosen up through the upper body. Just roll those shoulders up and back. Great. Keep going. Isn't that a great stress reliever, I think, doing shoulder rolls? You might be stuck in traffic at a set of lights and you're just feeling all that tension, you're hanging onto the wheel. And if you just relax your hands down by your sides and roll the shoulders back, it just releases so much tension. Great for your posture too. Okay, girls, now with your hands still at your side, you're in that set position. I want you to go down for a deadlift, taking those weights right down to your knees and then up. We don't want to go too low. Just take the weights down to mid-kneecap and then pull it up. Let me have a look at you. Keep going with those deadlifts. Good. Now see how Cherie's got her shoulders pulled back as she's going down, which is fantastic technique. Heels are staying on the ground, bottom sticking out, because what we wouldn't want is for you to slouch and roll your shoulders forward. Let's have a look. What would that look like, Julia? Yeah, you can see, that's not the posture that we'd want to use at any time. So just as we stand tall, we want to exercise tall. Pull the shoulders back now and take it down with that deadlift. As we're going down, you need to have a natural bend at the knee because that alleviates any sway back that might happen. You want to tuck your tailbone under and keep your hips nice and square. Girls, when you go down this time, let's add a row. Pull those weights into the navel, elbows back, back to your knee, and lift. So knees, navel, knees, and lift. Lovely. So now the girls are warming up through the upper back. Those muscles of the upper back between the shoulder blades are really contracting. Just imagine that you've got a sponge right between your shoulder blades and it's full of water. And as you're squeezing back, you're trying to squeeze all the water out of that sponge. Good. Take it down this time and hold it here. Give me 3 squeezes. We're going to empty that sponge. Really squeeze it out and back. And lifting up. Good. The chests are still well forward. The head is up. We don't want you looking down at the ground, but at the same time, you don't want to be looking up at the sky either, because then you're going to put a little bit too much pressure on the back of your neck. So just in a nice, comfortable, relaxed position. Girls are doing beautifully, really starting to warm up through the upper back. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now standing up, I want you to take 1 foot back. That's a great position. Gives you a little bit of support with that back toe up. Now dragging the weights up your body, elbows high and down low. This is an upright row. And again, warming up into the shoulder area. I want you to keep your elbows higher than your wrists, which you're both doing, so that's great. Make sure those elbows are nice and high. Now, the beauty of weight training is that as we age, our muscles do start to degenerate, and that's just part of the natural aging process. So what can we do to stay younger longer? We can weight train. That helps you to maintain a little bit of muscle bulk. And of course, if you can maintain muscle bulk, you improve bone density. And that means you're warding off things like osteoporosis. So particularly if you're somebody who smokes, if you drink, if you like a cup of coffee or 2 or 3, it's very important that you be aware that you are in a high risk category. And what you need to do is all those things that are going to enable you to maintain your bone density well into your later years. Good. How are those upright rows going? Just lifting you can feel that in the shoulders, Julia? So those bottles just to the chest. You don't want to come up too high at all. They're doing great. Lift it up. The other great thing about increasing your muscle density is that you're going to increase your metabolic rate, and I know we all want to do that. Just a little bit more, girls. Lift it up. We know we're doing our bodies the world of good. Getting our metabolisms up, burning calories, and keeping our muscle mass and our bone density. Great, girls. I want you to keep going because we're going to work further into the shoulders in just a moment and really add a bit of extra resistance. So while we're feeling that little bit limbered up, in stage 2, girls, it's going to be harder work. Are you ready? Of course you are. Have you still got your water bottles or maybe your can of baked beans? You need 2, you know, because we're working out with weights today, but we're improvising. It's amazing what you can use around the house to keep yourself in shape. Let's get back into our set position. Feet shoulder width apart, toes just turned out slightly, and your knees are softly bent whenever you're upright. Bring those water bottles up into a bicep curl, and holding them here, I just want you to lift one arm up over the head and then the other side. So just slowly taking one arm up and then the other arm. Good. Make sure you're keeping your body nice and tall and nice and square. What you really don't want to be doing is, as you're lifting up, Julie, if you could demonstrate, we don't want you leaning over to the side as you're doing one of these overhead presses. Yeah, that's going to put a little bit of strain on the back. So keep your body nice and tall and erect and just pressing up. Great. Now, whenever you are in this upright position, and we've talked about keeping your knees softly bent, your hips forward, your bottom tucked under, and it's also important that you keep your tummy muscles switched on so that they're really nice and tight and firm. Cherie, if I were to give you a little punch in the tummy right now, would you be ready for that? Would you be holding the muscles firm? I know you would. Okay, let's do both arms together now, girls. Let's lift it up. Push. That's the way. Now, if you feel that there's a tendency, particularly if you're using slightly heavier objects at home, or maybe you do have some dumbbells, you might find that there's a bit of a sway happening in your lower back, and we certainly don't want that arch to happen. So what you can do is take one foot back, and I think we did this earlier in our warm-up too, and that stabilizes the hips. So try taking one foot back as you're pushing up and down, and maybe just some small pushes now. So we're right at that key phase of the movement, which is the major muscle here in your shoulder, is really contracting, and we're not giving it a rest. When your arms are fully extended, you're getting a little bit of bone support, and when they're fully down, you're getting a bit of a rest as well. We're taking it through that more difficult, challenging phase of the movement, and you can see Julia's deltoid muscles really working now. That's great, girls. Keep going. Can you feel it in your shoulders? Do you need a break? Because we've got a way to go with this shoulder workout. So let's have a gentle stretch. You know you can stop at any time, don't you, girls? Like if it really does give you a burn, just stop. Take your hands down now, take your weights down, back to our set position with our knees bent, and an alternating forward raise. Just lift the arm up. You needn't come any higher than your chest. So don't feel like you've got to whack that water bottle up to the sky, just as high as the chest, which the girls are doing. And of course, if you're holding it there just that second, you can really feel the arms working. Let's try them both at the same time. Ready? Steady up and steady down. Don't have your elbow joints locked out either. Have them softly bent so that, again, the bones are not assisting you with this lift. You're truly working the muscles of the shoulders and of the arms. Can you feel that? That's good. Again, if you feel that sway back, take one foot back just a little bit. Now, taking the arms down, everyone, let's take it out to the side this time. So we're not flapping our wings about like birds. We've got that natural bend. The weights are held just slightly forward of the body. And we're getting a quiver happening, Cherie. Bit of a quiver. Do you want to take a break? Good. How about we hold them up here and just some little pulses right through that most challenging phase of the movement. Lift it up Take the arms down. There's one more. Can you stay with me? This is the Arnold press. Lift your weights up. Cover your face. Take it out to the side. Shoulder height. Lift it up over your head. Turn those bottles in towards you and drop it down, but only to shoulder height. So we're out wide, we're pressing up, and we're pulling down. Let's have a look. Pressing up and pulling down. That's great. So don't let those elbows drop. Try to keep them shoulder height, out wide, press up, pull down. How many more can you do? 2 more? Can I hear 4? That's great, girls. Drop it down, have a rest. You deserve a bit of a shoulder stretch. That's our shoulders taken care of, but there's more to come. Okay, it's time to work into our biceps and our triceps now. We're going to do some bicep curls. So we've still got our water bottles, whatever you're using at home, it's fantastic. So long as there's sufficient resistance that you can feel a little bit of tension in your muscles. Let's go with the bicep curl first of all. Have your heels firmly on the ground, your knees slightly bent and your legs about hip width apart. And let's curl up single arm curls first of all. Might have to wrap the thumbs around those water bottles. They're just that little bit large to rest in the palm of the hand too comfortably. Now, as you're doing a bicep curl, important that you extend all the way down to the bottom, fully extend the arm, as opposed to just doing little short curls. And what tends to happen when people aren't going the full distance all the way down, they'll pull their elbows back. And how does that look, Julia? When you pull the elbows back and you're doing a curl, you're starting to bring into play your shoulders a little bit too. So what we need to do is have our arms slightly forward and those full extensions all the way down to the bottom. Good. Let's try both arms going up together. So bicep curl. Great. You know what's going to happen here. We're going to get those fabulous biceps. We can do the football. You know when the football teams get together and they fold their arms? But it's interesting. Women are sometimes afraid of doing weight training because they think they're going to bulk up and they're going to get really muscly. And that's not going to happen. It's highly unlikely because the average woman has 10 times less testosterone pulsing through her body than a man. And that's why trainers we like, we're not going to get those huge bulging muscles that the fellas get. So ladies, you don't have to be afraid of using the weights. Good. Girls are continuing their curls, and it's important that you, again, keep your body nice and erect. Your tummy muscles are switched on so that you don't start to sway and use a bit of momentum to help you curl the weight up. You certainly don't want to do that. Just using the arms up and down. Great work. Now, if you were to turn those water bottles around slightly, look, there's a hammer curl. You're still working into your biceps, but a little bit into the forearms as well. Right here, through the front part of the arm. And you can turn them further still if your focus is on your forearms, and you can feel the pressure rotating right around. Yeah, becomes a different movement altogether. That's good. Keep going. We're going to do triceps next. That's the opposing muscle group. You've got your biceps in the back of the arm. You have your triceps. You know that awful feeling when you wave someone goodbye? You stop waving, but your arm keeps swinging. We don't want that to happen. So let's firm up our triceps. Girls, I'll get you down onto the mats that we've brought out now. So kneeling down onto the mats, and you can get rid of one of your cans of beans or your cans of soup. You only need one weight at this stage. Now on your knees with one hand balancing your body down onto the ground, tuck one elbow, the elbow that has the weight, tuck it in closely to your side, and I want you to extend that arm back and then tuck it in. Extending back, tucking it in. And I'm sure you're going to start to feel that in your tricep muscle almost immediately. That's great. See how Julia's arm's nice and straight in line with her body, and she's extending. This is one opportunity when you can actually lock the joint out. Ordinarily, we would say keep your joint soft. But with this movement, you can lock the joint out because as you do so, you fully contract that tricep muscle. That's lovely. What Julia wouldn't want to do is start swinging her upper arm up and down. The focus is completely off the tricep when she does that. So lock it back in correctly, Julia, and that's great. She may even get to the stage, she's doing it so well that she won't have to do too many and she may need to take a little break. See how you go, Julia? Just swap arms when you need to. Let's have a look at Cherie as we go across. That's good, Cherie. Can you feel that? Now, Cherie is bringing that arm in close to her chest after she's done her extension. Now, Cherie, it would be really good if you just drop that arm straight down to the floor and not tuck it in so much. Is that a little bit harder? Because every time you bring that arm all the way in to the shoulder, you're actually giving the tricep a bit of a stretch and actually giving it a rest. And we don't want to do that. We want you to work hard. You might want to switch arms and do the other side so that we get a nice, even, balanced workout through the tricep muscles. Tricep work done with perfect technique doesn't even require a weight resistance. You can put the weight down altogether, and so long as you're using great technique and really squeezing back into your tricep muscle, you're going to get a workout. You don't need anything at all. Coming up after the break, we're going to cool down, we're going to stretch those muscles. Well done. Welcome back. This is the last segment of our workout, and this is the most fun. This is the one that you really deserve because you've been working hard with your weights, you've worked your muscles. Now it's important that we stretch them. The warm-ups and the cool-downs are so important in preventing any injuries in the future. So how are the girls going? We've got Julia, we've got Cherie. You ready to stretch? Let's start the way we began with some shoulder rolls, just at the very beginning. We did this with our weights earlier. And now just completely releasing any tension in the upper body. Great. Good. All right, now taking one arm across in front of your body, use your other arm to exert a little bit of resistance and push it across in front of your body. And you should feel that stretch. Can you feel that stretch, Julie, as it's coming all the way around the upper back, through the deltoids? Great. And let it go, give your arms a bit of a shake. You can do the other side when you're ready. Push it across. Nice, and you can just see that stretch working all the way from the upper back here with Cherie and all the way through the upper arm. Good. Let's do that one more time on either side. Cross. Our deltoids really worked hard today. Remember in that segment when we did all our overhead presses, we were really overloading the deltoids. We did the forward raises, we did the side raises. And relax, give them a shake. And the other side. Great. You know, we lose a lot of flexibility as we get older. Do you remember as a child? Remember all the amazing things you could do and nothing seemed to hurt? Everything was so loose and so supple. So if you keep up your stretches as part of a regular routine, 3-4 times a week would be ideal, then you will maintain some of that original flexibility that we're all born with. Let's do a tricep stretch. Take your arm up and push it down behind you. Great. So you can see that stretching right through the tricep muscle, which we worked when we were doing those tricep kickbacks with our weight. Do the other arm, pushing it down your back. And you'll notice that loss of flexibility with this one sometimes too. If you haven't done it for a while, it seems really difficult to get the arm back. If you watch a swimmer do an exercise like this, their shoulders are so fabulously flexible and they'll really be able to pull that arm right across. We probably can't do that. However, we can still feel that stretch through the tricep muscle. That's great. Drop your arms down, give them a shoulder roll. I want you to now take your arms back, thumbs pointing backwards and chest out, shoulders back, stretching right through the chest and shoulders. And as you push those thumbs back, you're getting a gentle stretch as well through your biceps. So don't be shy, chest out. That's great. Good. This is a really good one to do after you've done a few sets of exercise just to loosen up, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Let it go. Deeper into the bicep. At the end of a really hard bicep workout, this is a fabulous stretch. I want you to take your fingertips and gently push them backwards, extending the arm forward, and you'll feel that stretch right through the front of the arm. Sometimes you just feel like all the blood has been pumped into your biceps. You've done lots of curls. You do this one and just relieve all that tension. Do the other side as well. Pulling the fingers back. Excellent. Feel better already. Okay, give the shoulders another roll. Can you grab your hands behind your back? Can you roll your shoulders back for me? And I want you to pull away. Chest out. Oh, that feels good. Lovely. Stretching through the chest, the shoulders. This is a terrific one. And relax. Now bending forward, we're going to stretch our upper back. Feet shoulder or hip distance apart, and just leaning down, cross your hands over, grab the outsides of your thighs, hanging on fairly tight. I want you to arch your back up like a cat. That's great. Tuck your head in, Cherie. And can you feel that stretching right here, the muscles of the upper back? And let it go. Put your hands back onto your knees and extend. Push your bottom out, push your chest forward. So flattening the back out. Great. Cross it over again. Let's do another upper back stretch. Cross it over and pull away. Wonderful, stretching right through this upper back area. Tucking your head in. And now with your hands back onto your knees, pushing up, stretching like a cat. Well, I hope you enjoyed your weighted workout today. And the beauty of using your weights is when you're done, girls, you can have a drink. The best nutrient you can put into your body, water. Cheers.